So KLING O1 just released and it's absolutely phenomenal. And today I'm going to be walking you through the official KLING O1 documentation so that you can understand the model, how to get the best out of it, and then ultimately some cool new features that I haven't seen with any other model yet. So let's get into it. So this is the O1 user guide that basically gives us all the information on how to get the most out of this new model. Now, just to be clear, what Nano Banana did to image generation is what KLING O1 has just done to video generation. It's a multimodal input, all-in-one creation and modification. And as we go through the examples, again, that we become really clear on what that really looks like. If you were using a lot of these models for creative processes, there's so much tedious post-production processes taking place with these current models. Traditional filming, traditional creatives, it just takes a lot of work. So they have basically streamlined that process within one model. It is really fascinating what they have done here. Again, what you liked with Nano Banana Pro and how that really excelled your image generation is what now you're able to do with a video generation. Some very simple and impactful stuff that I have not seen before with any other model. We always talked about consistency. Very hard to get consistency. I think Sora 2 was kind of the first model to kind of inch towards that direction in a good way. And this model here does it phenomenally. So KLING O1 comes with enhanced capabilities to understand image and video inputs better and supports the building of elements with images and multiple angles. So for instance, I can do multiple angles of this video. I can have multiple shots of me and just give it basically a photo of my environment. So I can basically clip this out and I can say create me multiple scenes or multiple angles of this video. And like I said with other models, specificity for prompting is super important. It still is. In the future, you can even see it with this model, being vague will get you super far, will get you really good outputs. So as we can see here, basically it just gives it an element, right? So you can upload, I believe, up to 7 images. We'll cover that as we go. And they're prompting here, close up of the film effect, and they obviously call it out, call the images out, but check this out. And then we have obviously, check that out. And that looks the same. And basically you are now creating net new scenes that you didn't have to do before. So you just give a bit of reference of the individual, some clothing they're wearing, you know, a full body picture, a headshot, and then like a mid shot, and then they can create these net new shots. So that's one thing. Consistency with this model is spectacular. Single characters, objects featuring powerful multi-subject fusion capabilities. As we'll get lower, you'll start to understand that. So as you can see, they put in a banana cat, and you just kind of tell it what you want it. And this is shot 1 here. Like, look at that. That looks amazing. And then you can now infuse both together in a very natural looking way. I mean, look at the lighting. So you have all the lighting, right? It's all lit really well. That's one thing as well. Lighting, composition, the environment really stays consistent throughout the entire video. Now, I will say this as well. A lot of videos cut off at 5 or 8 seconds. Now you can do 5 to 10 seconds with this new model, which is amazing. So more creative, packed in one generation, is not limited to single tasks. It supports a combination of different tasks in one prompt. Kind of what we're seeing here. Again, you can reference multiple images and then simply tell it, I want image 1. I want this individual to be wearing image 1, which is obviously the clothing. I want him to be walking with the dog in image 2. Very simple stuff. And now you can really create, like, you can get assets and you can really pull them together in a visual way that we haven't seen before. So again, here we can combine reference images and restyle them. As we can see here, we can modify the background, add element, and restyle. So this is really cool as well. Really, really cool use cases for this. And as we can see, this is kind of like this is kind of what blew me away. Their prompting, change the background of video 1 and image 1. It's simple. It's very simple, and look at the output. So really cool in that regard as well. Again, we can do up to 3 to 10 seconds, as you can see here. Now, I believe you can't, so they actually allow you to kind of go up the scale from 3 seconds to 10 seconds. You can do 6, 7, and 8 seconds. That is natively, I believe, in Kling. If you have like an all-in-one platform like Higgsfield's Veed, I don't believe you can do that. I think you can either choose probably 3, 5, and 10 seconds. At least that's to my understanding. Now let's actually look at use cases. So if you're a filmmaker, how does this apply to you? So you can actually create green screen scenarios, right? If you're big into the filmmaking, you have a green screen at home, you can basically use those green screens to your advantage, and then you can kind of world build, put it into the model, and you can create it from there. As it says here, change the green screen background of video to the ancient castle under the night at image 1, right? Which is right over here. So you can do some really cool stuff. And again, this was such a tedious task prior to this model. Like to be able to green screen and then throw it into here and then have it suddenly produce this type of output, again, we have not seen before, right? And then we can have this thing here, which again, we can reference image, we can put in the assets, and we can say, hey, image 1 does this, image 2 does this, image X, Y, and Z does all this stuff. And the output, I mean, again, so if we're looking, like we have lighting over here, perfect. We have this lighting, the consistency looks good. We have the wind with the cape that remains consistent. We have the lighting on the face. We have the shadow of the bike that looks like a legit shadow. And it just produces really good video. As we can see here, it's a character scene and a prompt. You can take all the ingredients, you can take the assets, and create something really, really cool. So in advertising, obviously there's a tremendous amount of use cases with this, whether it is obviously like product photos of people wearing your garments, people wearing your clothing. But this, as we have here, we can take, again, multiple images, and we can produce a nice close-up of your product. And the placement. So product placements is another huge thing that's becoming more common. Like Nana Banana Pro is really good at product placement. It understands physics really, really well. As we can see here, you're going to take this Christmas tree and you're going to lay it on top. And it has the shadow here, right? It just looks, it looks stunning. Like it looks really, really good. Like you would think, like this could be a photo, right? Nana Banana Pro could produce this. It was hard to get something like this with video, but now we are there with KLING O1. Again, we can have here, so we can have model, scene, and production. So these effects here, as you're seeing, would take a while to produce, but yet we have the ability to give it some references in the environment, the individual, and the product. And again, it's a simple prompt, right? Shot at horizontal angle, the camera shows element 1 and image 1, right? So it's all very easy to produce such high output. And imagine you had very specific prompting. Now, my advice with prompting is you actually want to go to all the models. They have their documentation. They have the kind of native documentation. For instance, this is their documentation here for KLING O1. You want to download that documentation. You either want to create a GBT, a gem, or even a project, depending what LLM you work with. And you want to actually download all the documentation from all these models, and then that's going to be your reference for prompts. So with fashion, obviously, this is massive. Like, look at this. This is really, really cool, okay? It was very difficult. The amount of money you would have to spend to get the model, to get the clothing, to get the environment, to get the backdrop, to get the lighting, to get the camera. And it all just looks, it looks top tier. So we have the model, the scene, and the costume, right? And again, it's a simple photo. It's just simple photos and simple prompting. So film post-production, again, this is very laborious task. Look at this. So as we can see in the prompt, replace a statue in video, right? And at this video with a giant Christmas tree. And like, it's crazy. And it's all very consistent, right? So all these images, all these specific details, the sky, the clouds, the sun, the lighting, the composition, these boulders, it's all very consistent. Before it would, I would at least, in my opinion, before it was very hard to get, again, like I've said, a bit of that consistency throughout. But it looks like they nailed it here. And then we can do very cool things. So we can have multi-characters. I mean, I think a lot of people are going to like this. You can give it kind of, human and then a anime character, avatar, whatever it may be, and it blends it really, really well. Right? And I think that is the future. Multi-characters, scene, and props. You can give it a ton of reference photos, a ton of imagery, and it's going to produce you this, which this looks pretty cool. This is really cool as well. So we can add to it, right? If you want to add something, if you want to edit it, prompt structure, add, right? Add what you want, obviously, and then add image to video. And then we have this. We have video content removal, so you can remove things that you want. You can just come in here and edit or remove things. A lot of creative ideas you can do, obviously, with this. I mean, this is pretty cool in general. Maybe do an ad for that. Very cool use cases for all of this. This is what I was referring to as well with the camera. I can take a photo of this, of my environment, and it can create me new angles. And it's going to allow you, like, it's absolutely crazy. Another cool thing is obviously the background. So this was another thing as well in my experience. Usually they would kind of lock on to the character and change the background. However, the background may be warped. It didn't look the same color. The lighting was slightly off. Again, it looks like they nailed it here where everything is the exact same. All right, and then we can even restyle. So the restyling is just, you can basically turn it into an avatar, an anime character, or whatever it may be, while keeping everything else the same. Which is cool. There's a ton of use cases for that as well. And I would encourage you to keep reading all of this. Again, link will be in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow.